Welcome to the official post-game press conference for the College Football Playoff semifinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl. Please turn off all cell phones. We will begin with Coach Steve Sarkisian and players Quinnen Williams and Jalen Ford from Texas. As a reminder, the team locker room is also open at this time, and we also have a breakout interview area next to the locker room. Coach Sarkisian will make an opening statement, and then we'll open up to questions. Coach?
Okay. I think first of all, I'll go backwards, but the resiliency our team showed in that fourth quarter to find a way to have an opportunity to win the game, I think is indicative of the character that we have on this team and the men that we have in that locker room. Those guys are fighters. They fought together. As bleak as it looked there, they never gave up hope. And they believed, and I think that's how you give yourself a chance in the end. I feel for them because I know how much they poured into this entire season. But like I told them in the locker room, we came into this season to be champions, and they are. They're Big 12 champions, and they should be very proud of that. They were a second away from playing for a national championship, and so there's a lot to be proud of on this football team. Unfortunately, in the game, we dug ourselves a hole with some self-inflicted wounds, and give credit to Washington. They played a very good game. The Penix got hot. They made some big plays down the field, and when they extended the lead, we got a little bit out of game plan to try to fight our way back into it, but we found a way to get a couple stops and force some field goals that gave us a chance to get back into the game. But in the end, came up short. But there's nothing to hang our heads about. These guys fought, and I'm very, very proud of the effort that they put into it.
We'll open it up for questions. Please raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone to you. We'll start in the front row on the left side.
Joe Cook with Inside Texas. Steve, can you go through those last four play calls inside the 12 and starting with the swing pass to Jay?
Yeah, he was more of a check down on the play. We were looking for an opportunity for JT or Jay Witt, trying to create a one-on-one matchup for those guys to go high point it. Naturally they did a good job defending it, and Quinn did a good job of just getting the ball out to Blue with a chance in space, but had to get out of bounds. It's a tricky situation in that you're out of timeouts, and so we have to be very careful that we don't complete a ball short of the goal line, or pretty much the game's going to end at that point. So when you're forced to throw it into the end zone each time, it makes it difficult, especially when they're defending the end zone. So we were just trying to create some matchups with some different route combinations to create some one-on-ones and to give our playmakers a chance to make a play. And we just weren't quite able to do it, So that's the way it goes sometimes.
We'll stay in the front row.
Quinn, can you kind of take us to those final three plays and just kind of the pressure Washington got in those last two?
Yeah, like Coach Rex was saying, we were just trying to take a shot at the end zone, obviously, because if you fall short, like you said, the game's going to be over. So, just was looking to give my guys an opportunity to go make a play at the end of the day. That's all you can really do.
Front row.
Eric Henry, Horns 24/7. His questions for Steve. Steve, I was wondering if you could just talk about the challenge to get pressure on Michael Penix and just kind of the challenge that placed on your secondary to defend against guys for a long time.
Yeah, no, I think, there were times we did create some pressure. We just couldn't get him on the ground, and that was probably the most frustrating part. He was elusive in the pocket, and he did a good job of avoiding the rush and then keeping his eyes. And then I thought they did a good job of taking advantage of some one-on-one matchups when they got them. And it just kind of felt like every time they threw it, and we were in pretty good coverage, they made the play, and then that's a credit to them. They're a good offense and a good passing offense especially. It showed. We just couldn't get them on the ground. We couldn't generate enough pressure. I thought our guys were fighting with the pass rush. We couldn't put enough pressure on the tackles, quite frankly, to get a holding call to even get them off schedule. They really played on schedule all night, and that makes it difficult. The times we did get them into some third and longs, we had the ability to get off the field. but we just couldn't get them on the ground. You know, I thought there were some decent pressures in there. We just didn't get them on the ground.
We'll go to the right side, second row.
Steve, I don't know if you feel like the 30 days off maybe affected y'all's offensive rhythm more. It just didn't seem like y'all were quite in sync like you were all year.
To your point, you know, I think for whatever reason, we had some uncharacteristic kind of anxiousness at the line of scrimmage, you know, where we had different people kind of with false start penalties, you know, and those things are difficult because sometimes, you know, we're trying to play, let's get to 2nd and 5, and now we can operate, and then you get a false start and it goes back at 2nd and 10. Or you do something on 1st and 10, it's incomplete, that's okay. Then you false start, it's 2nd and 15. So those were some things that were a little disappointing. And I don't know if that's because of the layoff or just, you know, sometimes being in the environment and you're a little excited to go play. But I thought we rebounded from those things, and you know, we ran the ball really well early in the game. But like I said, when you fall behind, it kind of stressed us where we had to kind of not lean on the run like we wanted to. And I thought that really changed as much of the game as anything, to where, you know, we really couldn't lean into the run and then, you know, complement it with the passing game. We had to really start throwing it and then mix runs when we could.
We'll stay on the right side, front row.
Jalen, what did you say to your guys after the game?
After the game, I just told them I was proud of them. Kind of like what Coach is saying. Like, you know, this whole year we sacrificed a lot, and in order to build this team into the way we wanted it. And you know, I think, like he said, at the end of that, like we went all the way up into the last play, and you know, I'm just proud of my guys for never giving up. Not once did I ever believe that, you know, until that clock hit 0, that we didn't have a chance. So.
All right, we'll go to the left side, second row.
Terry Middleton, Horns Illustrated, Coach Sarkisian. You talked about the resilience of the team, the fight until the last second. Is this something that you guys practice, or is this just the culture or the character of the team?
It's a belief, you know. We push our guys hard. Like I told them in the locker room, this has been a 12-month journey. You know, we started winter conditioning last January, and those workouts aren't always fun, all right? But we're building character in those workouts. It's cold. We go in the morning. We practice really hard. Our practices are demanding. Our summer workouts, when we run in DKR in the afternoon and it's 120 degrees, that's for a reason. It's to build character, and it's to develop the mental toughness and the resiliency. And then we get to training camp and we practice hard. And there's a belief in our style and what we do. And I think it showed this season. You know, there was a lot of games that came down to the wire for us this year. We found a way to win, and we put ourselves in position again tonight to have a chance to win the game. It just didn't happen. But I think that just speaks to the mental toughness that these guys have, the resiliency, and also the connection that they have for one another. That, you know, just like Jalen said, these guys never lost faith. You know, they believed that we were going to win that game, and it was just how. That was the biggest thing. Is, well, how are we going to do it? And we know we're going to. It's just how. And unfortunately, we came up short tonight. But that's the life of sport. You know, when you get into sport, all you can do is put forth maximum effort in your preparation, get yourself in the right frame of mind, and then play as hard as you can. And in the end, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. And either way, that should build character, and that should help these guys in whatever they end up going and doing in life, that how to go about your business on a daily basis and put yourself in position to be successful. You got a chance in this life, and hopefully they can walk out of this season knowing that.
We'll stay on the left side in the front row.
Coach, Alma Richardson, OrangeBuzz.com. Coach, obviously you've been building over the last couple of years to get to this point. How do you then, going forward, maintain this level of success and then kind of building forward to get to the ultimate goal where you want to be?
Well, I think that we have to make sure that this doesn't just happen, right? It took 12 months of hard work. We have to make sure that complacency doesn't set in. We got to be mindful of that. And then we go right back to the foundation of building the team, like I said, in those things that I discussed, whether it was winter conditioning, spring ball, summer workouts, training camp, culture Wednesdays, all the things that we do, making sure that we still handle our business in the classroom, making sure that we still handle our business in our community, because I think that ultimately, you have to rebuild the character each year of your team. And we have to be mindful that it doesn't just happen. It takes hard work. And I think that there's a lot of lessons to be learned, that the value of that hard work that we put in is the reason that we're in this position. So we're going to have to get right back to it again.
We'll go to the right side, second row.
Kirk Bowles from the Austin American Statesman. Quinn, it looked like you hit your head on the turf in the first half. I don't know if you were treated for a concussion or examined for a concussion. And the second part is, why did you feel like it was so hard to get Xavier and A.D. Mitchell involved in the offense more?
Yeah, I mean, I hit the back of my head a little bit, got examined, but was cleared, obviously. I mean, you just go out there and try to execute plays and put the ball where you think it's going to go. And it's hard to say why I didn't do certain things. And, I don't like to play the what-if game at all. But we just go out there and try to execute each play to the best of our abilities. And, yeah.
Okay, we'll go to the back of the right side.
Coach Justin Goosman, Texas Student Television. In the second half, it looked like a lot of the receptions were more in the flat, whereas in the first half, a lot of the plays that Washington had offensively were more down the field. Was that more of a scheme adjustment? Was that just something that they were doing offensively that was putting you guys in some difficult situations? Can you just explain the difference in their first half attack versus the second half attack?
It's probably a better question for Coach DeBoer, quite frankly. We try to, obviously, try to protect ourselves a little bit more against the deep ball. And maybe that's the reason the ball was going out to the flat, but I don't know if that was their intent or not. That, like I said, that's probably a better question for him.
I'll go to the left side, second row.
Quinn, Ted Lewis from the Times-Picayune, New Orleans. I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but a year from now, the winner of the SEC will be here playing host in the quarterfinals. Can you envision Texas being in this position, or does it hurt too much right now to think that far ahead?
I mean, I guess I'm a human being and I understand what's ahead, but at the same time, there's a long ways in between here and a year from now. A lot can happen in 365 days. So, but I know that we're gonna work as hard as we can to try to be back, and that's all we can really do is attack the off season the right way, and just continue to build this team to what it's capable of being.
All right, left side along the aisle.
Andrea Adelson, ESPN.com. Quinn, we can just see the emotion on your face. I don't want to guess how you're feeling, so I was just hoping you could take us through your emotions now as you're sitting here, thinking about how this game ended.
Yeah, it's tough, especially losing a close game like this. But, when you take a step back and you look back at the entire season, I'm proud of the way that we attacked each week. And for us to have the opportunity to even play here is just I know the whole team's beyond grateful for this opportunity that we had today. And I think we all played our hearts out. And I don't question anybody's effort in that room, in that locker room at all. But I couldn't be more proud of the way that we attacked this year, because I know most of y'all didn't believe that we would be here right now. So, and we're going to continue to just focus on the opinions inside our four walls and continue to build.
Go to the right side.
Jeff Howell, Horns 24/7. Quinn, when you guys got down 13, just kind of walk through your mindset, what you were saying to guys to kind of make that comeback, and then for Sark, just evaluate Quinn's performance tonight.
Going down 13, I think the biggest thing that we were talking about was just one play at a time. You can't get all 13 points back in one single play. So the small wins turn into big wins. So just trying to get back on track, and I think we did a good job of that.
Yeah, I thought Quinn had a really gutsy performance tonight. Thought he utilized his legs extremely well. They were really trying to deploy and match routes and cover people. And when that happened, he found some running lanes to use his legs to extend plays. Thought he made some big time throws at critical moments, especially late in the ball game. Gave us a chance to win. Down 13 in the fourth quarter with not a lot of time left, and we had the ball in the 12 with whatever it was, with a chance to win the ball game. And that doesn't happen unless he's playing his heart out and making some really big time throws for us.
All right, thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate your support all year. Thank you.